Hi there. I'm going to speak in the sex and abuse series again today, and today we're on number 15, and we're going to be talking about the fairy tale. And I want to really just see if we can get a handle on the effects of us believing in a fairy tale ending. And we've all been there. You know, as little girls, we're groomed to believe that there is a fairy tale ending awaiting us. We want to be that princess in the story who has the knight in shining armour come to whisk them away and to take them off to the fairy tale ending where they live happily ever after and everything is wonderful. And of course, healthy relationships can be wonderful and provide us with a healthy, satisfying outcome. But today I want to talk about sex abuse and the fairy tale and how that can lead us sometimes to believe that we need to compromise ourselves, our values, our life, sometimes our health, in order to get this fairy tale ending that we so desperately need. And a lot of the time, people, when they engage in relationships and they want a relationship very much, are actually trying to get their needs fulfilled. And a lot of the time, those needs have not been fulfilled in their childhood or wherever, or even since. And they're trying to get them fulfilled in this fairy tale ending that they've created, that they've been socialized, that they've been brought up to believe is theirs by rights. And that if we don't have that fairy tale ending in our life, then there's something wrong with us. And nothing could be further from the truth. But today I want to focus on the fairy tale as far as how that affects us becoming vulnerable to abuse and how that affects us as far as our future perceptions of what we should be having and what we haven't got. And that makes us feel unhappy and feel even more needy. So first of all, we need to fulfill our own needs and our own love. We need to give that to ourselves first, and we need to understand that that love isn't necessarily the reason that we need to go into a relationship, because we need to come to a relationship whole first in order to attract a whole partner. So the whole fairy tale thing that we've been socialized into, particularly as women, but men too, men desire that beautiful princess, that beautiful woman who's going to be there for them, going to stand behind them, going to support them, the perfect, if you will, idealized woman who is sexy, desirable, intelligent, and everything that he's ever wanted and has been told that he should want. But these fairy tale idealisms that we've been fed often groom us to become vulnerable in abusive situations. And when we have this idealistic vision and someone comes along and can see that we desire this fantasy outcome, they will often use that and manipulate that perception that we have, those desires that we have, in order to lead us into a dysfunctional situation. Because all they've got to do is to present themselves as your Prince Charming, or present themselves as your princess, as the perfect woman or the perfect man. And all they need to do is put this persona forward and wait until you're hooked. You're hooked into the fairy tale, and then gradually over time to introduce abuse. And part of that abuse can be sexual abuse. One element of that sexual abuse could be hooking you into a casual setup, which is portrayed as a proper relationship initially, but in the dating phase you could just be set up because you're so willing to submit to this fairy tale that's being presented to you, this perfect person. You could be set up to be used for sex and then discarded when you're no longer of any use, or they find someone else that they want more. Another way that the fairy tale can be used against us is actually in the relationship when the intermittent reinforcement is given, once again, of the perfect lover, the perfect partner, or the perfect Prince Charming is given intermittently to keep us hooked, to make us believe, oh yes, that was just a glitch that was happening before, that abuse. Now everything seems to be wonderful and I can have my fairy tale outcome and we can live happily ever after. Whereas it's just intermittent reinforcement which is given every now and again along the way to keep us hooked, to keep our perception of the fairy tale ending that's available when it's not actually available, never was in the beginning. It was just a fantasy, and this person was just playing a role of Prince Charming or your personal princess who is all yours. And then after a while they let their guard down. And the sexual component is introduced in the relationship along the way because it's masked by this false persona, this seduction in the relationship which keeps happening on repeat so that you will increasingly accept more and more disrespect and abuse because you've got this fallacy and fantasy going on in your head that this person is your Prince Charming, is your princess, and the only thing that you need to do is to keep giving more, keep doing more to make the relationship right. And after a while, trauma bonding can set in when abuse is involved, which means that the victim will then cling even tighter to the abuser, will cling even more to the relationship because they've become so disempowered by the abuse. And they've become so despondent that they keep pouring more and more energy into the relationship because they believe it's because it's something they're not doing or there's something wrong with them. They're not good enough. So they keep trying to make themselves perfect, keep trying to make themselves more beautiful, keep trying to work harder to give the partner more money, give them more things, do whatever they need to do to become the perfect partner. Whereas it's just the person using the intermittent reinforcement, the fairy tale aspect that you're looking for in order to keep you hooked. So as always, stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.